Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The Isupk, under Commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're
There we go. Shalom, shalom, human live. Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge, Biblical Scripture Breakdown Class, Precinct Captain 10,000, not the Zach Mishah of the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. I'll clap it up. We got in here. There we go. Viva la raza. There we go. All right, everybody should be able to hear me well now. Shalom, shalom. Y'all by Shemel Shah Thumb. Y'all with Shemal the Thumb by Shemel Shah. Everybody. Peak traffic. I can't see nothing. We're going to get started just a moment.
I guess I should ride with Lex.
They talk about my it's about time, so don't press it to our enemies. You can try to run where you going, it's your destiny. You gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody.
do it carefully. You can lose everything you own over jealousy. When I met her, I ain't never sweat her, I just let her breathe. See you down, keep my foot on you, that's not my pedigree. At your throat, I done took her oath, I pray I never leave. I'm a different guy, you're surprised, tucked in my sleeve. Boy, you fucking stupid, sold your seat for some bloody bees. True nature, cut the conversation, better keep it brief.
It's about time, so no curses to our enemies. You can try to run where you gone, it's your destiny. You gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy.
It's about time, send them curses to them enemies. You can try to run where you going, this your destiny. Confusion gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy. It's about time, send them curses to them enemies. You can try to run where you going, this your destiny. Confusion gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy. They don't wanna know, we tell them, they just won't believe. It's about the journey, I ain't worried, moving at my speed. Saying we ain't much to be desired, gotta disagree. Scarring one of mine, then we spinning like rotisserie. Go against the odds, I'm ready, this another victory. Cut different, niggas moving foul, where the referee. Moving like the military, something they ain't never seen. It's the one West world for the people, this is what they need.
It's about time, so no curses to our enemies. You can try to run where you gone, it's your destiny. You gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy.
All right. We back. Shalom, y'all. By Shemel Shabbat Thumb. All right. We're going to go ahead and continue. Where we last let off, we still in the Feast of Hanukkah, the Feast of the Dedication, in the middle of our war that just was off, battling the Greeks to get them out of our land, out of our temple, after wicked leaders had seduced the people to go and find and follow them. And now the Lord rose up a mighty man of war. You understand? As in all the days of before, the Lord rose up a mighty man of war. All right. So that we can get this warfare on of delivering our people out of the hand of our enemies. So we left off at First Maccabees, the 2nd chapter. All right. Mattathias had slew unalive the traitors. You know, he unalived the traitors and the tax collectors of the king. Put the squeeze on us to force to take their customs, to take their to stop, most importantly, to stop following the customs of the Most High, to keeping our laws and commandments. They forced us under threat of death, and many of us did die in order for us to start speaking Greek, which is what happened by the time the New Testament. Okay, the water sis. All right, just said it's choppy. Let me check it out. All right, let me check it out. Salakia. Let me just a moment. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Okay, that's clear. Breaking up. Looks like it's frozen. Let's see what we got. Okay, there is a delay. All right, bear with us just a moment. Let's get this straight here. See if we can clear this up. All right. Let's see. Got a delay. Let's see. Let's see. Delay. Let's see. Still got a bit of a delay. All right, shalom. Y'all by Shemal Shabakatham. Y'all by Shemal Atham by Shemal Shah. Okay. Delay. All right, shalom. Okay, yeah, it's still a delay. All right. All right, y'all tell me it's still showing as upcoming. Not sure. Okay, you might need to refresh your page, sis, because I see it here. It's showing up on my end. Shalom, Yahweh Shemal, Adah, Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, just run a check here. All right, shalom. Let's see. I don't know why. Let's see. Okay. Shalom, sis. Yahweh Shemal, Adah, Shem Yahweh Shai. Shalom, Yah Tawab, Tazarai. All right. Sounding good. Testing. Okay, it's clear on my end. It just sounds like it's a delay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and roll with it. Anybody seeing the delay? Because it's cleared up on my end. Might need to do that. So we were in First Maccabee. Hold on, I think we had a question there. Sister had a question. I thought it was a question. Not sure if that's an issue. Thought I had a question. Okay, I don't see a question. I thought it was. I don't see a question. You got any questions? Just type your questions in there. All right. So we had First Maccabees chapter 2. All right. So what happened the last time? We're just going to give a recap, catch up because we're a little bit behind there. So what happened? The Lord through Mattathias. Mattathias is a strong and mighty man that served and stood with the Lord, and the Lord through the Spirit of the Most High. Mattathias slew the tax collectors that was forcing brothers and sisters to follow the king and to put off the covenant. You understand? To put off the covenant of the Most High. You understand? To put off the covenant of the Most High, to not keep the laws, to not keep the high holy days under the threat of being unalived by our enemies. So what ended up happening is they were told that absolutely not. We're not going to turn on the Most High. We're going to stand with the Lord, and we don't give a damn whoever don't like it. But what ended up happening, right. There is a delay. It's like it too. It's a delay on my end. What ended up happening, they got wiped. They got put to death, which was according to the law. Someone entice you to serve another god in our days in our kingdom, not in this kingdom we're in today. The punishment for even enticing, be it your mother, father, your friend, someone near and close unto your heart, they are not to be concealed. They're supposed to be taken out according to the law, which is exactly what Mattathias did. That's why it said his zeal according to the law. So we're going to read that First Maccabees chapter 2, when Mattathias said that we will not forsake. Chapter 2 and verse 21 says, God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances. These commandments the Most High gave to us, that's not something that can be changed just because of the fear of death or you coming to threaten us. You understand? That's not something that's negotiable. All right, so Sister I got a question that says First Timothy chapter 3, verse 16. Why does it use the term mystery? All right. Very simple. There are things in the Bible that says mystery. Let's go to it. One of the reason things say mystery, when you see a mystery, if you see the word mystery in the Bible, just think of this. Think of it this way. Whatever the mystery is, all right, let me pull it up there. How many people do you know that know this? Outside of the school, outside of the brothers and sisters in these UPK classes, how many people do you know that know this thing? All right, it says 1 Timothy chapter 3, and let's see what we're talking about. First Timothy chapter 3 and verse 16, it says, without controversy, meaning without, everybody knows what the word controversy is. Great is the mystery of godliness. It's a mystery because so few people actually understand what it is to serve the Most High. Then it says, then it's going to break down what this mystery is. The Most High, the power, God, was made manifest in the flesh. That means the power was made manifest. That's talking about Christ. Justified in the spirit because he did no sin. He stood with the Most High. Seen of angels. The powers saw him on earth. The angels bear witness of the great works that Yahushua HaMashiach did. Preached unto the Gentiles. Christ has been taught to all of the Gentiles, the other tribes who were not in the land of Israel, the Gentiles. They were taught, believed on in the world. In the world, they learned, they believed on him, they learned about him. You understand the works that he did, the miracles that he did. They learned, and the world believed. You understand? The society that he died for, that the Most High sent him for, they believed in the works of Christ. This new layout is terrible. You understand? I don't know why this was changed. It should not be changed. It's a terrible layout. Can't see any damn thing.
So like you, sir. Shalom. Y'all was picked up.
Shalom. Yahweh Shem Shem Bergatah. All right.
So like you, sir.
So this is
to
what
the
it's taught
left.
and received up into glory. Go ahead.
Kind of a sir. So to the left, you can get rid of that that rectangle if you click on it. If you look at the bottom left of where the pictures are on StreamYard, you can just get rid of it.
I did.
Oh, and it's still messing with you? Okay.
Right. I got rid of that. Yeah, but the other box is very tiny. It's not big and full properly like how it used to be.
Oh, okay. Con.
It's like a very small cube. That didn't help. All right. So that's a mystery. When you get a question like that, says just think of mystery. How many people understand what Christ actually did? The answer is nobody. Almost nobody understands what Christ actually did. To the majority of the people, it's a mystery. They still think Christ is a white man, even though he was a black man that did miracles and everybody saw him. The planet pretends like nobody ever seen Christ. Nobody know what the hell he looked like when he literally went everywhere and everyone saw him. Everywhere he went, mobs and mobs of people followed him. That's why he had 12 security guards on Shamar, armed guards with him almost all the time. That's what the 12 disciples were that rode with Christ. You understand? That's why they use the word mystery. Nobody even knows what the Bible is talking about. Nobody knows what Christ came to do. Nobody knows what he taught. As far today in 2025, people still believe Jesus Christ died for everybody. They believe he was a white man. He died for everybody. He wants you to sing to him, give him a hug. When he come back, Big Mama, everybody gonna get the hug and cry for him. And the clan gets to be there too because they're also Christians. It's a mystery. Nobody knows what's in this Bible. That's why it says mystery. All right. They don't understand the Gentiles. They don't understand when it's talking about to the Jew first and then the Greek and then the Gentiles. They still don't understand that. They think it's about saving white people to this day. Nobody understands. That's why it's a mystery system. That's what it means. All right. And I'm going to give you another precept, Sister Aya, where it says, let a man so consider us stewards. A steward is someone who knows much about something. Someone that's in charge of caring for it. A steward. You understand? Stewards. Let me get that precept for you. Let a man so consider us stewards of the mysteries of God. Meaning the things about the Most High are a mystery. That's why everybody guessing. That's why if you ask Christians about the Bible, eventually they're just going to say they just take it by faith. They can't prove it. They don't know where it comes from. They're saying God bless you. They don't know why. They're saying they're blessed and highly favored. They don't know why. They're saying the blood of Jesus. They don't know where that comes from. They putting trees up in their living room. Their house is catching on fire. They don't understand it. You understand? They doing egg hunts when rabbits don't lay eggs. It's a bunch of confusion following foolishness. But 1 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 1. The things written in this Bible were always a mystery. That's why the Lord rose up prophets, and the prophets were able to tell you what the Bible, what God was saying in the Bible. They would go on the street to make sure that you knew, and then they would set up schools, which is what happened in the New Testament. So the brothers and sisters that actually cared about serving the Lord can come and get their questions answered from a steward of the mysteries of God. That's 1 Corinthians 4 and 1. Precept. This is for you, sis. Go and write it down. Let a man so account of us. Meaning when they tell about who we are, let them say as ministers. A minister just means a servant of Christ. Meaning if you serve Christ, this is what the accounts of the servants of Christ should be. And stewards of the mysteries, there's your word mysteries again, of the Most High. Mysteries of the power. What does the Bible mean? What are the precepts? What are the breakdowns? What is charity? What's salvation? What's going on? Why this happened? What happened in the creation story? What's going on in Revelation? All of these things that nobody in the world knows, because moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful. You go learn from a man of the Lord. They're only in the UPK. Everybody get it. All right. That's what it's talking about. So now, if you need more, sis, let me know, because we're going to finish off on, we got to get this war started to get these damn Greeks out of our temple. It then jumped off. Mattathias and unalived the tax collectors and the wicked leaders that came to Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and Martin Luther King their way into seducing our people to betray the Most High. You understand? Mattathias would have none of it. All right. Then you had the fake Israelites who refused to serve God. They wanted to go in the wilderness when the Lord said to go into the mountains with Mattathias. If you are someone who's accustomed to not obeying the Lord, you would have eventually gone into the wilderness. You understand? You'd have went in the wilderness and died in the wilderness. Got your kids killed, got your mama, your wife, your animals killed. You would have just died because you didn't follow the Lord. You did what was laid on your heart, and that gets you killed. All right. So now we should be caught up. Let's skip down. All right. Take me to 1 Maccabees 2 and 37.
Come. First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 7. It's like 37, right?
37.
Verse 37.
Yes.
God said, let us die all in
This
our
is what
innocence.
the fake Israelites, they said, we innocent. Let us go ahead and die. They just gonna lay down and die. We shall overcome. That's not what we doing here. We ain't finna lay down and die. The Lord sent the disciples to be the Lord sent Christ to be crucified. There was a time and a place for that. You understand? And no orders to lay down and die. By all the dying should be over. Now you're gonna have to fight. You understand? We ain't going to camp to lay down and die. We're gonna go to ground on you. You're gonna get fallen on. You understand? So keep going.
Heaven and earth will testify for us.
Heaven and earth. Everything is gonna bear records. Everything will know. Keep going.
That ye put us to death wrongfully.
Yeah, the oppressor doesn't care about unaliving someone wrongfully. They don't have that issue with their conscience. They'll unalive you. They'll make an excuse why it was your fault, even if your hands was up, even if they shoot you in the back, even if you're running away, even if you're handcuffed like Robert Brooks in jail, even if they surrounding you, even if they put the gun in your back, they say, I'm in fear for my life. You understand? Even if they bomb the damn city, they say, well, we were terrified. That's why we dropped dynamite from the sky and then set, the city on fire. We were just so terrified. You understand? They'll make an excuse. Precept, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. That's why we don't depend on the oppressor for justice. We depend on us serving God, and the Lord will give us justice and protect us. You doing everything right in America does not get you God's protection. The white man is the devil. He'll turn on you and change the rules at the finish line. So we have to serve the Lord. All right. Esau didn't care about them being innocent. That's another civil rights garbage. Hands up, don't shoot. Please don't hurt me. We doing a peaceful protest. We don't protest in the ISUPK. We don't do a protest. We hold camp. We battle spirits and principalities and powers of darkness and rulers of wickedness of this world in the spirit realm. You understand? And if need be physical, that's why we covered in shield and iron and spikes. You understand? We're not depending on a wicked man to have mercy on us. That's something that the Christian church teaches, to pray to God knows whoever, because it's not the God of the Bible, that an evil man will have mercy on you. That the church is filled with pedophiles, but you still going to take your kids to church anyway and just pray that Jesus work it out. That Dylan Roof comes to unalive everybody, and even though he didn't shot 10 people, you still going to pray that Jesus will change his heart. We don't pray the Lord change the devil's heart. You understand? The devil and that heart can go meet the Lord. You understand? We ain't begging you for mercy. That's not in the Bible. Christ did not beg for mercy. Christ gave his life up. That's another thing that the Christian church and the civil rights leaders have lied about Christ for centuries. You understand? That's not true. Now, of course, for the knuckleheads and the fake Israelites listening who are not in the truth, you're not in the school. We're not telling anyone to go and do any violence. We're not advocating any violence, none of that. You damn right, sister. Nope, not at all. You understand? Not at all. You understand? Heads rolling in every direction. There's not one way. It can roll in all kinds of directions. You know, get it together. We're not Christians. We will defend ourselves. Don't get on. All right. So Sister I had some more. She said, Salakia, so that term made me wonder if our culture was made to be a mystery for a purpose to draw us to the priests and prophets of the truth. Yes. I was talking to a brother earlier today. That's why Christ spoke to everyone in parables. A parable is a riddle. He spoke in riddles so that no one could understand what the hell he was talking about. Nobody understood. The disciples didn't even understand. He explained the riddle to them privately. The purpose was to force anyone who cared enough to learn this his disciples. Most people refuse to do it. It's the same way today. Everybody refused to get on the command and general honor, even though they come and sit in the UPK classes and try to have deliver it wrong because the Lord is not with them. You understand? I got one more precept for you. Mysteries, but unto them, least at any time. We'll give you that other precept, sis. You make sure you take it down in your notes. Least at any time, they should repent. Let's see. Right. Matthew 13 and 15. This is another precept for you, Sister Raya. You can add that to your mystery, your 1 Timothy 3 and 16. Everyone should be taking notes. If you are not at your slavery somewhere behind the wheel of a truck where you can't write things down, you should be taking notes. All right. It says, for this people's heart is waxed gross. Matthew 13 and 15. And their ears are dull of hearing. Their heart don't give a damn what the Lord says. Their ears are dull of hearing. Their ears can't hear simple things. And they have closed their eyes. They don't give a damn what the Lord is revealing to them. Least at any time, they should see with their eyes. They actually start to understand what they're seeing and hear with their ears. They get a spiritual development so that they can properly hear the word that's going forth. They should understand with their heart, meaning change their minds, and should be converted, and I should heal them. Why is he saying that? Because he doesn't want to heal them. He doesn't want to be confused. Mark 4 and 12 says the same thing. There's another precept for you, Sister Raya, for your mystery, that they see, hearing, hear and not. They don't understand this. I tell understand why don't he kiss people hands up and go and they say he's guilty. They don't understand it. Least at any time they should be converted, meaning they change their life and their sins should be forgiven them. He didn't want their sins to be forgiven because they had been evil, wicked bastards who had always ignored the prophets. Every time the Lord sent them in the earth, even rose up and killed the prophets many times over. Christ did not forget this and say, let bygones. To most people, he spoke in parables. Anyone who actually loved the Lord would have came to class, had their sins forgiven, and then went and served the Most High under his authority, his disciples. We'll do that to the very day. But that is Christ. It's supposed to be a mystery. That's right. All right, shalom, brother. Shem Shabrakatah. Hey, Yaquab, Shem Shabrakatah. All right.
Shalom, y'all.
Yaquab joining us, the water brother.
I am the boss, sir.
All right. So now we back to Maccabees. The water, you brother. First Maccabees chapter 2. I am the boss, sis. All right. And now, all right, we pick up wherever you were. Just start from the top. I think they would kill us, but everybody would know how innocent we were, and now we dead, and they don't give a damn. They figure that's how it works. Keep going.
Cut of concert. First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 38. So they rose up against them in battle on the Sabbath.
See, protesters don't come prepared for battle. Battle followed who the Lord set up. Protection comes with obeying the man that God set up. You don't obey and follow Command and General Yohana, you are outside of the Lord's protection. Knows we've been saying it for decades. We make clear so that nobody is confused. You're not. Every one of them is supposed to be in the UPK under Command and General Yohana, whatever city, state, country, zone, province that you're in. If you don't do it, now that you've heard it, which we say repeatedly for this very reason, you put yourself outside of the Lord's protection. The Lord be with you. All right. So now, skip me down. They unalived them. 1,000 of the brothers and sisters died. Now, give me verse 39.
Verse 39. Now, when Mattathias and his friends understood hereof,
Mattathias and his friends understood what happened. Word traveled to them. They up in the mountains prepared for a battle. Protesters down there raising signs, talking. The oppressor is prepared to do more than just talk. You want to be his opposition. He's not opposing you so that they can agree to disagree. He's opposing you to bust your head open. That's what he wants to do. You understand? He's not trying to have equality. He's trying to force you to do what he wants or die. That's the point. You understand? There's a lot of confusion about, everybody having a fair say and this and that and all of that. That's not realistic. Donald Trump is trying to fortify his last white stronghold before the tide turns completely and it's no more of his people with any power. That's why he's preparing and trying to make war with every country across the world. France doing the same thing. Germany back building up their military. NATO prepared for full-out war in the rest of Europe. That's why they're trying to get rid of every other race of people that is not one of their own, because it is a gigantic liability if you go to a world war and you have your country and your military full of another race of people in an international race war. That's why Donald Trump is doing these things. It's a prophecy in the New Testament, in the Apocrypha, that says every man shall return unto his own people. Of course, you know this because Commander General Yohana has been teaching us this for decades. Now you actually get to see it. All right. So now, give me verse 40. Urash, please.
Verse 40. And one of them said to another, if we all do as our brethren have done,
if we do like they did, just say, yeah, we innocent, just let them go ahead and just run over us, and we're not going to fight on the Sabbath day.
And fight not for our lives.
If we don't fight for our lives, even a rose has thorns. God never said you're just supposed to just die, let everybody just kill you and stomp over you. A rose has thorns. Porcupine has quills. You understand? Some bugs and insects have poison. They carry diseases. They carry germs. Snakes spit acid, spit poison. The Lord give every living thing the right to defend itself. You understand? Christianity teaches our people that you're not supposed to defend yourself, that Jesus is going to take the wheel. You just pray about it. Well, you should come in the UPK. That's what you should do. All right. Keep going.
And laws against the heathen.
Right. We have to defend our lives and our laws against these heathen. Keep going.
They will now quickly root us out of the earth.
And that's what's happened to us now. They've uprooted the knowledge of the truth, the knowledge of our people keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments, which is our culture. It has been uprooted out of the earth. In the UPK, we are fighting and reestablishing our laws and our root back into the earth the way that the Lord had given it to us. From officers, captains, generals, our laws, from our marriage, our dietary laws, our civil laws, we are rerouting back into the earth, resurrecting our nation after it has been in exile for some thousands of years. You understand? So keep going.
Verse 41. At that time, therefore, they decreed, saying.
See, if you don't have the power structure, the rank, the order, if you just following a bunch of protesters and everybody dress up in Jordans and baby doll tassels on your t-shirt and everybody's equal, everybody do what they want, you don't have anybody in charge. You don't have anybody in charge that's connected to the Most High. They decided amongst themselves that they would go into the wilderness, and that was a death trap. The Lord told Mattathias to tell the people to go into the mountains where the Lord would be with them so that they can have order and structure. Who knows what a decree is? What is a decree? Young man Rahim, brother Ja, you understand? What is a decree? Yabakar, Yagadar, Hadassah, Tazarai, Aimadah. What is a decree? You understand? Nasha'a Rakah. What's a decree? What else we got in here? We're a little light tonight, I see. Paul, Nizam Amar, McCoy Yala, Azarakah. What's a decree? It says they made a decree. What does that mean? An order. That was a good guess. A little bit more. They made an order. That's right. There you go, sis. An official order. What are official orders called? An official statement. That's right. What is the term for an official order or an official law? What's the damn? What's the term? There you go, Makwayala. A law. A law. It slipped out. God damn it, it slipped out. That's right, sis. A rule is something for the house. A law is something for everybody. That's right. An order, a demand. The answer is a law. That's right. They made a law. A decree is a law. There you go, brother. That's right. You see, if you don't have any judges with authority, you can't make any laws. We have law in our school because you must have laws. You understand? You got to have laws. You can't have a nation without laws. Them brothers and sisters that went in the wilderness, they are not people that follow laws. They follow their heart, and they follow their heart into a place where the enemy could kill them and their families. And here, God sets up laws. They pass a decree. There is no more, we're not going to fight on the Sabbath. Damn that. It's war. Let everybody know this is a law. All right? Get that out your mind. That's why they passed the decree. Now, if you accustomed to not listening to the Lord, you're going to go do whatever. They're going to run up on you on the Sabbath day, and you'll become a pack, as the young brothers say. You understand? You'll end up getting put on a t-shirt. All right? So keep going.
Whosoever shall come to make battle with us on the Sabbath day.
They're going to run up on us on the Sabbath day. They coming for war. Keep going.
We will fight against him.
We're going to give them what they're looking for. Every day. Keep going.
Neither will we die all.
They ain't going to kill everybody. We ain't going to let them just kill us all. Keep going.
As our brethren that were murdered in the secret places.
See, our brethren were murdered. Battle is a battle. That was not a battle. That's Pete Hegseth ordering the United States military war fighters to bomb an innocent civilian boat and then to double bomb, to spin again on the survivors to make sure that everybody dies so nobody can see all the bait for the worms and the nets for all the fishing that they're going to do. Like the damn cartel is smuggling, kilos of cocaine on a damn open fishing boat in broad daylight. You understand? Professional international drug smugglers is smuggling cocaine past the goddamn Navy in the Caribbean. Figure the Navy won't see them in a damn fishing boat on a fishing route with fishing equipment. You understand? Said we're not going to get murdered like our brothers. We're not just surrendering and just let them just up and kill us for the sake of we shall overcome. No, that's not biblical. That ain't biblical. God does not approve of that. All right. Keep coming. Give me 42. They in the wilderness. Not in the wilderness. The wilderness is where you die. They in the mountains because that's where the Lord said to go. But you won't know what the Lord said if you don't follow who God commanded you to follow. Officer Yaquab, give me Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 15. Fake Israelites and Christians miss this law all the time and swear they in the keeping the commandments, serving the Lord. The Lord had prepared for them to go somewhere. Nobody knew it but Mattathias, because that's who the Lord chose to lead at that time. If you're not accustomed to obeying the Lord, you won't know it's time to go. You'll wait until everybody want to go in the wilderness. By then, it's too late. And you're going to the wrong place, and the Lord is not with you. All right? Give me what you got, Yaquab. Nice and loud.
The book of Deuteronomy 18, verse 15. The Most High thy power will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee.
The Lord said he's going to raise up a prophet right in the middle of you, right where you can see him. Ain't going to be from some faraway place you ain't never heard of. It's going to be right where you can see him, in the middle of you. Keep going.
Of thy brethren.
Say it again.
Of thy brethren.
One of your brethren, just like you, Black, Latino, Native American, gonna be a nigga right in the middle of you. Keep going.
Like unto me.
Just like me. It's gonna be one of us. It ain't gonna be Obama. It ain't gonna be a Hussein. It ain't gonna be a Clinton. Ain't gonna be a Trump. Ain't gonna be a political leader. It's gonna be someone right in the middle of you. Someone you know. Keep going.
Unto him you shall hearken.
Unto him you shall what?
Unto him you shall hearken.
You're going to listen to him. You're required to listen to him. Keep going.
16. According to all that thou desirest of the Most High thy power in horror in the day of the assembly.
According to everything. Right. According to everything that the Lord wants to be done at that time, he's going to raise one up so that he can give you on-the-spot instructions. That's why. There's always going to be one risen up. The Lord rose up Mattathias. He gave on-the-spot instructions. You understand? Because our culture and society is one of order. Somebody giving orders. That's how we operate. All right, take me back to where you were, Yarash. Now that you've obeyed who the Lord set up, you in the mountains, you hear that your brothers, hard heads down in the wilderness that went and got murdered. You sad, got to pass some new laws. Listen, everybody get your mind right. Ain't going to be no more, we just going to have a happy Sabbath. Ain't going to be none of that. It's game time. We got enemies out there. Get your mind ready. Stay ready. All right. Now, give me 42.
Verse 42. Then came there unto him a company of Assyrians.
A company of Assyrians. Keep going.
Who were mighty men of Israel.
These mighty men of Israel. A company. The word company is a military term. A fortified force. That's what a company is. That's a military term for a body of soldiers. They mighty men in Israel. Where were they at the whole time? The Lord was preparing them men. He had reserved them men. But when it jumped off, the Lord told Mattathias what to do, and he had men already lined up. Keep going.
Even all such as were voluntarily devoted unto the law.
They voluntarily devoted to the law. They said, we don't give a damn either. We ain't following the king's commandments no way. We ain't bowing down, and you're not going to run down and kill us either. We don't give a damn. Let's get it on. You understand? These is men of war. It served the Lord. That's why when Christ comes in Matthew, the 1st chapter, and in Luke, the 1st chapter, it says that we should be saved because salvation is to save us from these other races of people that will force us to stop serving the Lord. That's what salvation is for, to be free from their hand, to serve the Lord without fear. Why does it say fear? Because if you don't follow the king's commandments, they're going to kill you and your family and your wives and your children and your mothers and your cities and your animals. They're going to threaten you with death. That's why Christ said, fear not them which can kill the body and not kill the soul. Don't fear them, but the Most High, the Father we fear. You understand? Keep going.
All right. Verse 43. Also all they that fled for persecution joined themselves unto them.
Everybody that fled for persecution, they joined themselves. The Lord directed them to get to Mattathias. The Lord directed them to get to Mattathias. The Lord sent Mattathias in the mountains. And everybody that's going to stand with the Lord, they found Mattathias. A whole company of soldiers found Mattathias. Everybody running to see who did the Lord raise up, because we all know the Lord will raise up a prophet from amongst them, one of their brethren. And sure enough, they get to the mountains. We all meet up right here. Who's the Lord? Oh, that's him. Just like that. One of thy brothers, just like the Lord told us in the law. Keep going.
And were a stay unto them.
They were a support. They were a stay unto him. Their job was not to go and say what all we can do, what all I want to do, what I think need to be done. Let's take a vote. That's what the niggas tried to do to Moses in the wilderness, and the Lord killed them all. The people that wanted to vote took themselves down in the wilderness. That's where they died. Ain't gonna be no goddamn votes. The Lord put Mattathias in charge. You're gonna do what Mattathias say, or the Lord is not gonna be with you, and them Greeks gonna run down on you and hang you from a tree. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 44. So they joined their forces.
No, they went to church and had a prayer meeting. They did what?
They joined their forces.
They joined forces. You can't stand for the Lord if you don't have no forces. They don't have forces in the church. They ain't doing forces there. They doing prayer. They doing outreach. They doing protests. We not doing protests. We ain't praying for love from someone that the Lord said what he made to hate you. You understand? They joined forces. They got power. They got sons, men of war. They don't have mommy running the house. They ain't got a woman in charge of everybody, making them too scared to wear boots and braids and in all black and stand on the corner. They not scared. You understand? These ain't mama's boys. These ain't choir boys. These are men of war that is going to take to stand with the Lord, to serve the Most High, to be a pillar and a stay in the nation. That's what it's going to take. And that spirit, the Christian church does not want in a Black, Latino, or Native American man, because that feminist spirit is how they get rich, to exploit our sisters in them churches and get access to them children and all the wealth and resources that America has diverted from Black men into the hands of Black, Latino, and Native American women, preferably, you understand, so that they can put them in power, only for Donald Trump to systematically take it all away in less than a year. Everything. The school grants, the housing grants, the government jobs, the nursing jobs, all of this. The Lord said, the staff of Egypt shall be your shame. The strength and strengthening yourselves in the power that you would have as an American, relying on their systems and their finances and their gods and their religion and their empowerment, that shall be thy shame. That's what the Lord said in Isaiah the 30th chapter. Now you're seeing the military don't care about you. The police force don't care about you. The governing body don't care about you. They don't give a damn about their own rule of law, because the people trying to enforce legislation from the courts, they don't have no gunmen. President got all the gunmen, so the judge say don't do it. The president say I got shooters on the street. What you gonna do? Before you know it, nobody give a damn what the judge say no more. The judge say don't do it. They'd have done it already. You understand? These are biblical prophecies. We living in these times, and it's so right and so fitting that we spiritually gather ourselves together. That's why the Lord always had us to remember what this brother Mattathias and his sons did to stand for our nation so that we could take back our temple. All right? Keep going.
And smote sinful men in their anger.
Sinful men, an evil man that is a traitor in a righteous kingdom, you don't get to just live and spread your message. You don't get to spread your message to seduce our people to go and follow your God, as opposed to following the Most High when the nation is threatened. You don't get to just, everybody believe what they want. You don't get to believe what you want in the middle of a war. Well, none of that. You want to serve the king, you as good as the king's men. You out of here. Keep going.
And wicked men in their wrath.
It got to be put down. You're going to destroy the nation. We can't afford no weak links in the chain. You trying to cut deals with the enemy. We trying to survive. We trying to continue to exist. They hanging us from trees. Babies and mamas and everybody. And you trying to get a little piece of change for yourself and a good position, nah, you got to get up out of here. You done for. Keep going.
But the rest fled to the heathen for succor.
The rest of them fled to the heathen. They ran to Esau for help, for safety. Why? Because these men over there, they're going to force us to stand with the Most High. They're not going to let us sell drugs. They're not going to let us live that LGBT life. They ain't going to let us serve Jupiter and Saturn and do all of these Greek customs that the king told us to do that the Lord said we don't. They standing for the Lord over there. And they dealing right with the land. And we can't be over there. So we got to run to the Greeks to get under their protection. Keep going.
Verse 45, then Mattathias and his friends went round about.
Mattathias and his friends. Who knows why it keeps saying and his friends? Who knows why it says that? Remember, every word in the Bible is important. It didn't say Mattathias and his men. It didn't say Mattathias and his army. It didn't say Mattathias and the disciples and the priests and the prophets. It specifically says the word friends. Why does it say friends, Debar? Sister Debar, Hadassah, Nataza'ah, calls Sapar. Why does it say friends, Yabakar? Who knows? Nasharakah. Why does it say friends, Maquar Yala? Young brother Jah. Why does it say friends? Young man Raheem. Why does it say friends? What that means? Why is that word there? Why does it keep saying friends? It just say his men. These his men, ain't it? Why don't it just say that? It would be simpler. All right. Well, y'all, why does it say that? Why does it say that? His brothers. That's right. It's his brothers for sure. That's right, sis. Sister Hadassah said his brothers. That's a good answer. It's a real good answer. Why does it say that? What does that even mean? Why does it keep saying his friends, his friends, his friends? What does that mean? Talking about my friends. What about your friends? They gonna be around? They gonna let you down? The TLC said, what about your friends? They weren't all men. You swinging for the fences, Sister Raya, huh? No, they was men. No woman on the battlefield. That's a good answer, young man. I'm not sure. I agree with him. All right, I'm not sure. All right. A friend is a very specific thing. A friend has a definition. All right. A friend cannot be known without adversity. He had a bond with them. You get more on it, sister. Yaquab, give me a friend. You trying, sis. You trying. I got you, sis. The water. All right. You rush your mouth. Come on with it. I'll let you get it. Come on with it.
Karawakan, sir. Because these were the men that joined forces with him.
That's right. These men joined forces with him. They weren't a part of the camp. No. That's a good guess, Azaraka. Very good guess, sister. They were a part of the camp because they already joined forces. You joined forces. We in the war together. You a part of the camp now. The camp is who's going forth with you to battle. These men then joined forces with them. They are part of the camp now. The battle is all of ours at this point. We didn't join forces. Ain't no getting out. All right. All right. Let's get friends. Let's get that precept on friends in the Apocrypha. You got it, Yaquab? Is that what you were saying?
It's Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus. I want to say 12.
That sounds about right. In adversity. See, a friend is not just somebody you know. That ain't your friend. A friend, give me what you got. Let me hear it.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, starting at verse 8. A friend cannot be known in prosperity.
A friend cannot be known in prosperity. This is what a friend is. When everything is going well, you can't be my friend. I don't know if you're my friend. We might enjoy each other. We might say wonderful, nice things to each other. We might have a good time around each other. But that doesn't make you my friend. And this is something important for brothers and sisters, especially brothers and sisters and young brothers and sisters to learn. Tons of people you call your friends are not your friends. God gives us the true definition of what a friend is. You cannot know if you have a friend in a good time. Everybody can be your friend when everything is going well. Keep reading.
And an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity.
When you have adversity, trouble, problems, conflict, an enemy can't be hidden there. How do I know the difference? Keep reading.
Verse 9. In the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved.
In the prosperity of a man, I mean, when a man is doing well, an enemy, he'll be sad. You can tell that's your enemy because he's sad that you're doing well. Keep going.
But in his adversity, even a friend will depart.
In his adversity, start from the top, a friend will leave him. Keep going. Start it from the top one more time.
In the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved.
In the prosperity of a man, an enemy will be sad. Keep going.
But in his adversity, even a friend will depart.
But every time you see the word if, ands, or buts, you want to treat that like a pause. But start me from but.
But
there you go.
In his adversity.
Come on.
In his adversity.
Trouble. When some opposition come up against him.
Even a friend will depart.
Even a friend, you so-called friend, is going to leave in adversity. The enemies hate when you're doing good, but a friend will even leave in adversity. What does that mean? This wasn't a real friend. He was around for the good time. In the ISUPK, we are not here for good times. We're not here for good times. We may have plenty of good times, but that's not how our forefathers made a covenant on that Passover night. We made a covenant that we would be alike partakers, one of my favorite scriptures, of the same good and evil. You understand? Everybody be there for the good time. There's plenty of food. We having cheer. Drinks are flowing. Nobody hurt right now. Nobody's in pain right now. Nobody's in lack right now. Nobody's in a rough situation right now. Nobody's dying right now. Nobody's hurt. Water is not running out. Power is not running out. We're not in the cold right now. We nice and warm. We're not in the heat right now. We nice and cool. We're not thirsty right now. That's why we have the Day of Atonement. You understand? Who will stand with the Lord when you cannot eat and you cannot drink? Who's going to stand with the Lord? Because a friend cannot be known without adversity. Got to go through some things to say that this is my friend. That's why it's calling them his friend. Friend is a very specific thing. Everyone is not a friend. Christ said, ye are my friends if you do whatsoever I command thee. That's what Christ said. Keep reading, Yaquab.
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
I found the one that I think you was on, because that was the end of that one. But the one I think you want is in Ecclesiasticus 6, sir, if I could.
6 and what?
6, and it starts at 7, sir.
Ah, that's it. The water. This is the right one. This is what you want about. This is why friends is there. All right.
Ecclesiasticus.
Give me that.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 6, verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend.
If you plan on getting a friend, keep going.
Prove him first, and
he got to be tested. You don't run into that and. That and is a pause. Prove him first. You don't get credit in here in the UPK. You got to be proven. You got to sit in class for at least 90 days. You got to learn Khan Adawan Khan and La Asr. Yahweh Shamar Al-Athar by Hashem Yahushua. Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua Barakathah. You understand? You got to be proven. Want to be a friend in here, you got to be in your all black for 90 days. You understand? You got to be proven a friend. Got to test you. Are you willing to give up Christmas for this friendship? When your mama's mad, your rib is mad, your kids are mad, your mother-in-law mad, you ain't showing up for Thanksgiving dinner. You ain't helping wrapping no damn Christmas presents. You giving static in the house about this damn tree. You ain't going to the damn party. Ain't no more Labor Day. We ain't decorating for no Halloween. You drawing lines in the sand. Precept. Christ said, I came to set a man at variance, and they of his own household shall be enemies for my sake. You understand? You ain't eating pork no more, and it's causing conflict in your family. You ain't smoking weed no more, and it's causing conflict. The Lord is a man of war, man. That means he about conflict. Got to be proven. Keep going.
And
there you go.
Be not hasty to credit him.
Not hasty to credit him. Don't know this brother. I cannot stake my reputation on this brother. I don't know this sister. I cannot say that this sister has sworn an oath to uphold these rules and laws that we live by in here. I can't say that about this brother. This sister has not made an oath to stand with the Most High, to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments and the rules of this school. I cannot credit this brother. I can't credit this sister. I can't say and put a reputation of people who trust in my proving that I am a friend to them, that they are a friend to this body, to the body of Christ, to this house, to this family. I can't be hasty to credit them. I must try them. I must prove them. What are they going to say? How will they act in adversity? Are they going to be there? Are they going to suffer like the rest of us have to suffer to make it to Passover? Are they going to pay their $200 like everybody else has to make it there? Are they going to miss work and money to make it to camp when they can? To make it and put forth their treasure, put aside their family, put aside what they want to do to stand with the Most High? I'm not hasty to credit you. I don't know. I don't believe you. I'm not hasty to credit you. I'm not moved or impressed by life. I'm not moved or impressed by death. I've seen plenty of them, both. So I'm not hasty to credit you. You understand? The Lord don't want you to be hasty to credit somebody either. The scriptures say the Lord trieth the reins of a man. Who are they? Who are you? What are you made of? You understand? The church let anybody in there. They don't have security. They don't have shamar. They don't check. They turn the child molester loose, the robber loose, the murderer loose, the rapist loose, the kidnapper loose, the adulterer loose. They just turn everybody loose in there. Don't give a damn about nobody. Well, in here we love our friends. Our brothers and sisters have to prove themselves. They have to maintain themselves in here. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 8. For some man is a friend for his own occasion.
Some men are a friend for their own occasion. Be very careful about people you hear talking about. I don't want to hear too much about this rank. I'm just here for the brotherhood. The brotherhood. You understand? Brotherhood is rank. Otherwise, you'd be having baby doll tassels on your t-shirt and wearing purple or Taliban head wrap. Rank maintains the family. Rank maintains the nation. Rank maintains the order. If Mattathias didn't have the rank that the Lord gave him, then the armies who were supposed to join him would have kept doing whatever they wanted, and the Lord would not have been with them because they were supposed to turn over their power to Mattathias. That's what the Lord commanded. The other brothers and sisters that went to the wilderness were supposed to follow Mattathias because Mattathias was given the rank by the Lord. He put his life, his brothers, his city, his wealth, his everything on jeopardy to stand for the Lord before anybody else gave a damn. And the Lord appointed him, and you had better follow him. You are not equal to him. He is above you, and the Lord put him in charge. If there is no one in charge, everyone does what they want, and then we die. That's what we have in the Black, Latino, Native American community now. A bunch of death. To make sure that we don't die, we better have some goddamn rank. Brotherhood is rank. That's how you make sure that the next generation can inherit the exact same things that Commander General Yohana got in 1969 from the 80s. And you get exactly what he got today because he has rank. And that rank maintained the integrity of the school so that you can inherit the brotherhood and not be in purple while some man has sex with your woman because you didn't give her a wedding ring. And they pass her around from house to house. Or your leader has sex with a woman, let her run in his behind and try to sell her on goddamn Backpage. Or has sex with a tranny or an alternative lifestyle man and then regrets it afterward and then unalives them because he's in purple. Or kills the sister because they let Africans into the goddamn school. Or makes a doll of themselves and rob brothers and sisters for 20 years like Tazadakia did, calling him the damn comforter, and then he die and rob everybody, and now you spend 20 years following a man and your whole faith is in question for thousands of brothers and sisters. Or you follow some African like Dr. York, who's a child molester, or Polite, who's a child molester, or Muhammad, who's a child molester, because you don't follow where the structure and the order and the authority and the rank is, where someone can pass a law so that you don't die on the Sabbath day in some stupid protest like Martin Luther King. That's brotherhood. You understand? Some man is a friend for his own occasion. And if you are just here for your own occasion, then you can be a student. You can be a brother or a sister. You can, very well. But if you are going to be a friend, you must be proven. Keep going.
And will not abide in the day of thy trouble.
In the day of your trouble, he ain't gonna be there. He ain't gonna be there when you got a surgery, when your car wrecked, when your rent late, when your light bill cut off, when you flip your car, when you need somebody to come and get you out the emergency room because the racist doctors in bum whatever North Carolina don't want to treat you with a broken back. Then your brothers come from North Carolina Shamar Department, come and get Trooper Kazakia out the hospital of North Carolina and carry him several hours back to his home in Virginia. A friend can't be known without adversity. You got to have trouble to prove a friend. And our forefathers and in here, we are alike partakers of the same, both good and evil, not just the good times. We're not fair weather friends in here. And these brothers who were Mattathias' friend, they were there for the bad times, the evil days. That's a friend. We build friends in here. We build brotherhood and sisterhood in here because that's the spirit of the Lord. That's how you have a nation. Keep going, Yaquab.
Verse 9. And there is a friend.
There's another kind of friend. Keep going.
Who being turned to enmity.
He's a friend being turned to enmity, meaning he get jealous. Keep going.
And strife will discover thy reproach.
And he gonna be turned to strife and enmity. He gonna discover that he really hates you. When some trouble jump off. This ain't really about, me being your friend and we friends and we having good brotherhood. Now with some trouble. Now with some conflict. You understand? How you gonna act now? That's why Christ said, if thy brother offend thee, go to he and thee alone and tell him thy faults. How you supposed to stand in battle with your brother if you can't tell him, I don't like what you said. I don't like how you talk to me. Well, Salakia, sir, I don't think that's right. Well, Salakia, brother, God damn it, what you did wasn't right. And you may have to go. How oft shall I forgive my brother if he offend me? Till 7 times? What did Christ say? Till 70 times 7. Why the Lord say that? Because you can't make a friend without adversity. How could you? How do you know how to act when the trouble comes? You gonna run when the enemy come? Keep going.
Verse 10. Again, some friend is a companion at the table.
Some friend is a companion at the table. When the rations getting passed out, the turkey legs, the thighs getting passed out, the strawberry cake getting passed out, the big salads Azara make getting passed out, Sister Hadassah's vegetarian salad with the big chunky cucumbers get passed out. The friend is there for the macaroni and cheese and the cabbage. You understand? Everybody want to sit at that table. But keep going.
And will not continue in the day of thy affliction.
When you get hurt, when you down, when you ain't got it, you can't fill the table, the bottles ain't flowing, he ain't gonna be there then. You're gonna wonder what happened to all the friends, where all the homies, where all the backup, it was all the fun. What about the brotherhood then? Oh, you know, something came up. I ain't gonna be able to do it. Oh, you know what? Man, I gotta look out for myself, you know. Then you get all kind of, then you realize what you really got. That's when you find out everybody ain't there. Oh, you sick now. You don't have nothing to offer. You don't have nothing to give out. You don't have nothing to hand out now. Oh, it might be time to go. All right, well, I'm gonna head out. You understand? Yeah. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 11. But in thy prosperity,
when you're doing good in your prosperity, that's right.
He will be as thyself.
He gonna be just like you. He gonna be just like you. He gonna be at the table with you. He be like, yeah, let me get another one. This is my boy. Yeah, we living it up. We doing good. You know what it is. He gonna be pointing in the camera. He gonna be taking the pictures. He gonna be hitting the selfies. Yeah, that's my dog. These my niggas. All right, let's see how much my nigga and we gonna do when this trouble come. Let's see. Let's see. We gonna see.
And will be bold over thy servants.
He gonna be bold. He gonna be bold over thy servants. He gonna be trying to make demands over the people that's supposed to be serving you. He gonna try to, hey, listen, man, you gotta get, hey, hurry up, man. My man said do this. My man said do this. You understand? He gonna try to wield authority that's not his authority, like you. You understand? The Lord is telling you how not to be, how to look out for certain things, how to not walk into the trap thinking that you got all these friends around you when really these friendships ain't based on nothing. They ain't been tried. They ain't been tested. You understand? The Lord said, if you're going to get a friend, prove them. And Mattathias proved these brothers that agreed to stand with him when they could have just ran to the king. The king said he's going to make them rich. They destroying the cities. The people scared. The ones that resisted is dead. They wandering around what to do. And here's the man the Lord appointed. That's the right spirit, you understand? So keep going. Matter of fact, that's it. That's it. That's enough on that. That's what I wanted. You good. Okay. All right, let's go back to where you reading that, Urash. The Wada Yaquab. That's why they saying these his friends.
Got him a sir. Want me to continue?
All right.
Verse 45?
You got. There you go. Start it from the top, please.
Got him a verse 45. Then Mattathias and his friends went round about.
Mattathias and his friends, these his friends, they going together. They moving as one. That's what Christ prayed for. I pray that these brothers be one like you and I are one. That's what he prayed for. Keep going.
And pull down their altars.
He tore down all them altars. They sacrificing pork and crab and all manner of evil and abominations. They tearing the whole damn thing. Oh, they tearing it down. The whole thing getting torn down. Keep going.
Verse 46. And what children soever they found within the coast of Israel, uncircumcised.
Any children that they found in the coast that were uncircumcised, that's supposed to keep the law and be circumcised, that evil men wanted to force the Lord's people to not serve him anymore. Now there's a force to resist evil. Evil doesn't stop because of hopes and wishes. Evil stops when a force of righteousness combats the evil. That's how it stops. Stopping evil is not a passive thing. You understand? Keep going.
Those they circumcised valiantly.
That's right. They reestablishing God's law. They reestablishing, saying we're not turning on the Lord. The Lord, the scripture says, strive for the truth until death. Then I shall fight for thee. That's what the Lord said. No cowards. You understand? Keep going.
Verse 47. They pursued also after the proud men.
You understand? They were shown after the proud men that decided that they didn't need to serve the Lord. They didn't need to fall in line with what the Lord set up. They got their own thing going on. Keep going.
And the work
they chased them.
Prospered.
The work of serving the Lord and reestablishing prospered in their hand. Keep going.
Verse 48. So they recovered the law out of the hand of the Gentiles.
They recovered the law out of the hand of the Gentiles. How do you know which Gentiles this is talking about? Because there's one Gentiles that the law was not given to. So these Gentiles who have the law that it needs to be recovered from or taken from, because they went into our temples and they stole our law. They stole our records. We had to go back, fight them, and take it back. We had to do what? My Hebrew Academy graduates had to do what, Hebrew Academy graduates? You understand? What you had to do, my Hebrew Academy graduates? You understand? What you had to do? Y'all let. Come on, graduates. They had to do.
Like you, sir, if I may.
Come on, come on, come on. Give it to me. What's the final mission? Come on now. That ain't the final mission. You trying to kill you the whole time. That ain't the final mission. Understand? What's the final mission? Come on now. Come on now. What the rest of my graduates said? Where y'all at, graduates? What y'all doing? Go ahead, Urash. Give it to him.
We might have to get the covers back at this point.
Uh-oh. I think one too many brothers got that cover. What's going on?
You're right.
I gotta get a retrieval going.
Right.
They handed out too many covers.
But
this day hath it been revealed. Go ahead.
And recover the scroll.
They had to recover that scroll. They had to deliver that scroll. They had to go and recover that. You understand? They had to recover that scroll. They had to deliver that law. You understand? Keep going.
And out of the hand of kings.
They had to take it for some powerful men. They wasn't giving it up. You understand? If you got a heart full of choir boy, you ain't gonna be able to get that scroll back. They ain't giving it back. You ain't gonna be able to sing and get that scroll back. You ain't gonna be able to "We shall overcome" and get that scroll back. You ain't gonna be able to take them to court to get that scroll back. They ain't gonna hear your cries. You ain't gonna be able to send your mama out there at a goddamn press conference like they send black women to be on the news every time something happened all the time. That nobody respects that. Stop doing that. Get Eve off the damn TV. Let some men do the talking at the press conference. Nobody respects it if you don't know. You understand? No more mama press conferences. All right?
Right.
They had to recover that scroll out of the hand of kings. They had to go and take it back. You understand? What 8-Ball and MJG say, if they don't give it up, we gonna take it.
Right.
All right. Keep going.
Neither suffer they the sinner to triumph.
Any sinner, in order to sin, you have to have been given the law. You understand? They ain't suffered no sinner to triumph. You ain't getting no win. Everything you got getting torn up, getting torn down, rolling through, tearing it up. We standing for the Lord in this land. Everything you doing against the Lord, that's going to have to go. All this going to have to get torn down. You understand? All right. Keep going.
Verse 49. Now, when the time drew near that Mattathias should die.
When the time drew near that Mattathias should die, he stood for the Lord with his power and his strength, with the life that he had in him. And he fought and he got it going. You understand? But now his time is over. He ain't going to be here forever. Keep going.
He said unto his sons.
What did he say unto his sons? Officer Yaquab, you're going to pick up at verse 50. All right, be ready. Go ahead.
Verse 50.
He say to his
Now
sons, you go keep reading. Yaquab, you're going to pick up at verse 50.
Council.
Now have pride.
Hold on one second.
Oh,
I wanted you, Raj, I want you to finish.
Right.
There you go. Keep going. Now, pride and rebuke. Go ahead.
Khan. Got in strength.
That's right. That's right. You got it.
And the time
pride
of
and
destruction.
rebuke got strength. Go ahead.
And the wrath of indignation.
The wrath of hating us for standing for the Most High. Evil men got strong. Proud men that speak against the Most High for their own personal gain. Cowards get power and authority. Now I'm getting ready to die. I set it off. You understand? But my turn is over. It's coming to the end of my turn. You understand? Brotherhood is continuing the work that the men before you did. About brotherhood. It's a weight and a burden to continue that, so that you continue this work of the Lord that was set before you. Now it's your turn. In your capable hands to make sure it's getting done right and proper. Now you go 50. Give me Yaquab.
Verse 50. Now therefore.
Come on. Go ahead.
My sons.
My sons. He got many sons. He rose up good, strong sons. Keep going.
Be ye zealous for the law.
Stand boldly, proud for the law, full of zeal. Zeal is the desire to do the word of the Most High, the work of the Lord. Have a zeal to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, because evil men that want to stop our nation from serving the Lord, they are powerful. And you have to be zealous to stand for the Lord. Keep going.
And give your lives
in addition
for
to
the
that,
covenant.
keep going.
And give your lives for the covenant of your fathers.
And give your lives for the covenant of your fathers. You understand? He's saying fight strong, be boldly. This is a war. It's a battle set before us. I'm getting ready to go. My time is over. But my sons, you make sure you continue this fight. Continue this battle. Don't lay it down because I'm gone. You keep it going. Turn it up. You understand? We're getting it on. Don't let this work that I've done be in vain. And now it's over because I'm gone. And so many times, the work that one generation does, especially after we integrated, the fight for strength and power and dignity completely stopped that we were working for. The Brown Berets, the Latino rights movement, the Black rights movement, all of that got swallowed up by the government, COINTELPRO, the drug movement, gang banging, feminism, integration, civil rights, all of that fire and zeal that we had to be strong and powerful got swallowed up into 100 movements, and the damn white man destroyed them all. Infiltrated them, destroyed it, wiped out the leaders, got brothers fighting and killing each other. Before you know it, all of that political power and authority turned into the Bloods and Crips and Gangster Disciples and Peace Stones and Latin Kings all over the country, and all of this cohesive unity, let's be strong, and the white man is the enemy, all of it went out the damn window behind Martin Luther King. Remember the law. What does the law say? Don't marry another nation of people. Be strong. You understand? Keep these commandments. Keep the Sabbath day. Circumcise your sons. Sex is marriage. Don't throw a sister away like the Greeks do. Don't whore and pimp your sisters out. Don't turn to an alternative lifestyle. Don't fall weak under their holidays and start to serve their gods. Don't let a wicked man get power and sway over the people. Don't wane in the judgment. Don't forget what your forefathers did, how we've had to go through adversity many times, many generations, through many empires and many kingdoms. Continue and keep this solid until I get back, because my time is almost over. This is the same thing the Lord said to Moses. Rehearse this in the ears of Joshua. When Elisha was being trained by Elijah before the Lord took him up in a whirlwind, battling the prophets of Baal. This is always what had to be done. Keep going.
Verse 51. Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time.
Remember what our forefathers did in their times. It's your time now, son. It's your time now, brother. Remember what our forefathers did.
Right.
Remember how they fought. Remember what they went through. We've been in captivity before. We didn't face big enemies before. We didn't face powerful, wicked men before. Great kings and mighty empires before. Remember that, son. Keep going.
So shall ye receive
on,
great honor. So shall ye receive great honor and an everlasting name.
You're going to receive great honor for standing with the Lord. And everybody going to talk about your name forever. That's why we have this memorial to remember what these brothers did. They stood with the Lord. Keep going.
Verse 52. Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation?
He said, he's talking about Abraham. Our forefather Abraham stood with the Lord. He wasn't no coward. He wasn't scary. They snatched up Lot. He ran down with his trained soldiers to go get Lot back. He wasn't scary. You understand? Just give me the 53.
Verse 53. Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the commandment.
He kept the Lord's commandments in his distress. Joseph was made a prisoner. They lowered him. He was sold to slavery. At the end of him standing with the Most High, the Lord made him second in charge of all Egypt. And we became a great and mighty nation living in the land of Goshen. Even though the Egyptians had us in captivity, the Lord rose us up and made us great. And we destroyed them Egyptians by the hand of the Most High. And we got our reputation throughout the world as the children of the people that crushed Pharaoh, the one true living power. And all the nations were terrified of us. They wouldn't even let us walk through their land. That's how scared they were of us. You understand? He telling his sons, remember who we are. Remember our heritage, how we stood for the Lord. You understand? I'm going to take the next few and I'm going to tell you where to pick up. Phineas, our father being zealous, obtained the covenant of everlasting priesthood, man. Christ for fulfilling the word. Yahweh Shai is talking about Joshua. Joshua and Jesus is the same word. Christ was not born at this time, but Yahweh Shai is Joshua. It is also Jesus. It's the same name. It's the same word in our language. It means the Lord's salvation. All right. Fulfilling the word was made judge in Israel. Joshua was the power that ruled the nation. Remember Caleb, he bared witness in the heritage of the land. Caleb was one of the two spies that rode to see that we could take the land that the Lord had promised us, the land of milk and honey, where everybody else was scared. Caleb and Joshua rode in there and said, man, we could take them. Everybody was scared. Caleb wasn't scared. He had that dog in him. You understand? That's what Kalab means. It means the dog. He had that dog in him. That's the brother's name. That's why today, well, not so much today, but back in the 90s and the 80s, you would say, man, he got that dog in him. That's my dog, you understand? That's what Caleb means, or Kalab in the Hebrew. You understand? David, being merciful, possessed the throne. He spared King Saul. Even though Saul was 100% wrong, he was a wanted man by the government of Israel. He stood with the Lord, and the Lord put him in power. They say it to this day, most are in Christ. But make sure I ain't getting too old. I've been in the truth for a little while, so I don't know what they say in the world too much. They still saying it, damn right. Yeah, that dog in it. And Elias, being zealous of the law, he was taken up in a chariot. Christ sits on the throne of King David. King David stood for the Lord in his day, did what was right, maintained his righteousness, kept it honorable. You understand? Daniel in his innocency, he was sent to the lion's den. He stood with the Lord. He didn't give a damn about them lions being in there. He said, I'm not going to turn on the Most High, even if it means being put in there with the lions, man. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego got put in the fiery furnace. All kinds of things that brothers and sisters had to do to stand with the Most High. Thus consider ye through all ages that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome. He telling them, these heathen cannot defeat y'all. My time is coming to an end. Your time is up next. Make sure you continue this fight. You understand? 62. He said, fear not the words of a sinful man, an evil, wicked man like Donald Trump, an evil, wicked man like Tom Holman, an evil, wicked man like Pam Bondi, evil man like Pete Hegseth, evil, wicked men that rule over us. He said, for his glory shall be dung and worms. He gonna come to nothing in a minute. Today he shall be lifted up, and tomorrow he shall not be found. Anybody seen Tom Holman? He was the border czar, the immigration czar, the head man. Remember Tom Holman? Well, they found out he took $50,000 in a paper bag as a bribe. And then you don't hear too much about Tom Holman no more. You understand? Right. Because he has returned to his dust, and his thought is come to nothing. All his thoughts is over. Wherefore, ye my sons, be valiant and show yourselves men in behalf of the law, for by it ye shall obtain glory. You understand? He said, you stand with the Lord, they're going to talk about you forever. Forever. This was before Christ. Christ is CE. Then you have AD. We're in 2025 AD. These brothers did this BC. And we still talking about these brothers AD 2025 years later. We still talking about it. This is what the Lord said, ye shall obtain everlasting glory for not being a coward. You understand? And behold, I know your brother Simon is a man of counsel. Give ear always to him. Listen to him. He's the counselor. He shall be a father unto you. I'm going to be gone, but I'm not going to leave without putting someone else in charge before I go. I'm training someone always to continue the work before I go, because that's what you do if you love your family, if you love your brothers, if you love your nation, your sisters, your family. This is what you do. That's what love is. I'm going to tell you who's ranked in order to continue to make sure that this is a family and a nation after I'm gone, which is what usually happens after Pop and Granddaddy and Big Mama die. What happens to the family? Come on. What happens to the family after Big Mama and Daddy die? What happens? Come on. What happens? The family continue loving each other? Everybody stay together? That's what happens? Is that what happened, y'all? Come on. We blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, that's what happened after Big Mama and Pop died, after Granddaddy, Paul, Big Mama, Miss Mabel, Ella Reese, Abuela, Tia, Concepcion, Gloria. What happened to the family after they died? What do you say? They split up? They split up? They split up? They split up? Everybody go their separate ways? They go their separate ways. They start hating each other. Do you know why they start hating each other and the family falls apart? Because they didn't have any goddamn rank. Nobody was in charge. They didn't have any brotherhood or sisterhood. Everybody did what they want. Everybody said what they want. Everybody lived how they want. And everything was based on holidays and religion. Nothing was based on what God said. And once the people died, the whole damn thing fell apart. You found out all your aunts hated each other. All your uncles hated each other. People pulling guns, trying to find the money. They stealing grandmama's purses, snatching her dresses, raiding the jewelry drawer, taking the keys, getting whatever they can, running to the bank, trying to sell the house from up underneath of each other every time. Everyone break away from the family. The whole damn thing was a joke. Nobody believed in it anyway. They were just waiting on daddy to die. That's Christianity. That's why you got to put someone in charge in front of the people. That's what Moses did. That's what Mattathias is doing, because that's how you continue the family. If everybody's equal, then what I got to listen to you for? Let's just fight. You understand? He said, Simon is going to be your counsel. He's going to be like a father to you. He's going to give you your counsel. You're going to go to him for your wisdom and your counseling. You understand? What is that? Congratulations. Nah, I don't want it. Damn all that. You understand? This is what he's saying. Simon, he's going to be your counselor. All right? Listen to him always. Verse 66. And for Judas Maccabeus, Yahwadah Hamakabath. Hamakabath means the hammer of Judah. He has been mighty and strong, even from his youth. Let him be your captain. He's going to be the general in charge of the army. He's going to be your captain and fight the battle of the people. He's going to be the champion of the people. He's going to be the captain. He's going to send men out and declare the wars and get it on. You understand? All right. Take also unto you all those that observe the law and avenge ye the wrong of your people. The Lord said, bear no vengeance. against the children of thy people. He never said to forgive any other race of people. He never said to forgive them. He never said to forget what they did. He said, forgive your brother the hurt he have caused thee. These ain't your brothers. Who the hell told you to forgive them? That's not in the Bible. It says, recompense fully the heathen and take heed to the commandments and the law. You understand? Verse 70, and he died in the 146th year, and his son buried him in the sepulchres of his fathers at Modin. The sepulchres, the gravestones. And all Israel made great lamentation for him. You understand? He prepared them. I'm getting ready to go in a minute. This was going to happen once I'm gone. This how y'all carry on. This how y'all going to do it. This who's going to be in charge. Make sure y'all don't let up one bit what I had put down. All right. Now we're going to First Maccabees chapter 3. I'm going to finish it because we're short on the time. I need to get to the point. All right. It says First Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 1. Then his son Judas, Yahowadah, called Hamakabath, which is Maccabeus. You understand? Rose up in his stead. He gone now. His son is in power. Now it's Judas' turn, which is Yahowadah Hamakabath. Judas is Yahowadah in the Hebrew. Maccabeus is Hamakabath, or the hammer. All right. And all his brethren helped him. And so did all they that held with his father. They continued fighting with him just like they fought beside his father. And they fought with cheerfulness the battle of Israel. These was warfare. They were happy going to battle. You understand? They were cheerful. So he got his people great honor and put on a breastplate as a giant and girt about his warlike harness around about him and made battles protecting the host with his sword. You understand? He's swinging that sword. He getting it on. You understand? In his acts, he was as a lion. He was like a lion and like a lion's whelp, roaring for his prey. For he pursued the wicked and sought them out and burnt up those that vexed his people. He set them people on fire. He put the pressure on them. You understand? He put that pressure on them, Akim. He set them on fire. Somebody said Salakia?
No, Salakia. So I was saying just right. I was saying that's right.
Right. He set them people on fire. You understand? Everybody wanted to bully and force everybody into that Greek lifestyle to Mattathias start setting people on fire. Then they said, "Oh, wait a minute." They had to pull a Bernie Mac guy, Quab. They said, "Wait a minute." said Yahweh out there set people on fire. Wait a minute. Wherefore the wicked shrunk for fear of him. Wicked doesn't stop because you pray at the wicked. Wicked stop because of fear. You understand? The righteous fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Righteous men of war make wicked men afraid. You understand? It burnt up and vexed the people. Wherefore the wicked shrunk for fear of him, and all the workers of iniquity were troubled, because salvation prospered in his hand. And he grieved also many kings and made Jacob is talking about Israel, it's like a nickname, glad with his acts, and his memorial is blessed forever. That's why we remembering him to this day. That's what Hanukkah is about. Moreover, he went through all the cities. He went through the cities of Judah, destroying the ungodly out of them and turning away wrath from Israel. You understand? The Lord is counting on righteous men to fight against the evil. The evil does not stop because of a march and candlelights and prayer and press conference. Our force has to combat the evil. You understand? It's not a passive thing. It's not something you hope somebody else does. You have to stand up and join the force, to stand with the Lord for evil to stop. It doesn't just go away on its own, the way that the Christian church taught everybody. You understand? So he was renowned. He was renowned unto the utmost part of the earth, and he received unto him such as were ready to perish, those that were weak, that were destroyed, that could barely hold on, that would serve the Lord if there was some place they could get to. They needed safety. You can't have safety without an army. You understand? The Ku Klux Klan don't respect your protests. You got to have an army that the Lord is with the army. You understand? The drug dealer don't care about you wanting more cops. Cops bring drugs and guns into the neighborhood. The government brings drugs and guns into the country, into your city, into your neighborhood. Your vote won't fix that. It's government policy. It always has been. You have to join the force to serve God. And that force has always and only been in the ISUPK since 1969. You understand? And they received them that were ready to perish, so that a weak man and a weak sister can get strong. They can get built up. They can have some place where they can serve the Lord. They can keep their counsels, keep their customs that the Lord passed down, so that we can have a nation again, free from evil men who would threaten everyone to stop serving God. You understand? All right. Verse 10, it says, Apollonius gathered the Gentiles together and a great host out of Samaria to fight against Israel. Some cat gathered a big army to fight up against Israel. Now that we serving the Lord, they gathering together to fight against us. That's why we pray Psalms 83 every Sabbath service.
Right.
Which thing when Judas perceived, he went forth to meet him and smote him and slew many. Many also fell down slain, but the rest fled. Wherefore Jehoiada, Judas took their spoils, and Apollonius' sword also. He took that Greek man's sword. He killed him, his men, and took his sword. And therewith he fought all his life long. He took his sword from him and then fought his people with his sword. You understand? Only a Salakia. That's a Judite's level of disrespect. That's a Judite size level of disrespect. Salakia. Everybody coming up. The Greek came up against us. Now Saron, the prince of the army of Syria, heard that Judas had gathered unto him a multitude and a company of the faithful to go out with him to war. He said, I will get a name and honor in the kingdom, for I will go fight with Judas, them that are with him who despise the king's commandment. So he made him ready to go up, and there went with a mighty host of the ungodly to help him and to be avenged of the children of Israel. And when he came near to the going up of Bethron, Judas went forth to meet him with a small company. He didn't take everybody. Who then they saw the host coming to meet them, said unto Judas, how shall we be able, being so few, to fight against so great a multitude, so strong, seeing we are ready to faint with fasting all day? Unto whom Judas answered, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few. And with the most high power of heaven, it is all one to deliver with a multitude or with a small company. For the victory of battle standeth not in the multitude of a host, but strength cometh from heaven. They come up against us in much pride and iniquity to destroy us and our wives and children and to spoil us. But we fight for our laws, for our lives and our laws. Wherefore the Most High himself will overthrow them before our face. As for you, be not afraid of them. Now, as soon as they left off speaking, he leapt suddenly upon them. So Saron and his host was overthrown before him. You understand? And they pursued them They battling, fighting, getting it on. All right, I'm gonna skip down a little bit. Tons of wars is going on. You understand? One thing that you don't learn, that the Old Testament is full of wars because the other nations had not conquered our people. If we were not in captivity under the white man, the Africans, the Arabs, the East Indians, the Asians, we would be at war with them constantly, which is what King David did. That's why he had 40 years of war. After 40 years of war, King Solomon didn't have to go to war with anybody because everybody knew they better not rise up against Israel because they've been fighting this champion that the Lord was with for 40 years. I don't want to go to war with them. You understand? So let me skip down. What do I want, Yarash? All of these laws, all of the wars that's going on, tons and tons of wars, fighting up against them. We fighting everybody, all the heathen. They getting up against us. We wiping them out. They coming up. There's more of them all the time. All right. I'm not looking for.
Salaki, sir.
I just want to get to where we got the triple back. I think it's 6.
Are you talking about 2nd Maccabees chapter 6?
I think that's what I'm looking for. I'm not gonna have time to go through all these decades of wars, that all these years of wars we had. Just want to get to where we took the temple back and declared it a national day. That's what I want.
Okay,
skip that. Yep, all that war. Gracious unto thee. Records, Jeremiah. I have it. I think it's 2. I think it's 2. I think it's in 2. Giving the law, charged them, and found in the records. Is it 1? Let me see. We fought everybody. The king of Persia, kings everywhere. We had to fight so many people that they were not willing to let us just serve the Most High. You understand? It's the one that's on the flyer. It's the exact ones that's on the flyer. Willingly. It's not 2 found in the records. Same things were reported. Solomon kept it 8 days. The ark. It's 2.
So like you, sir.
Okay, yeah, it is 2. It's
okay,
2.
So you want 2nd Maccabees chapter 2?
I believe that's what it is. When we got to the temple rededicated, it's 2:8. Could be 2:8.
Now, Salaki, sir, if I may.
Go ahead.
I'm just trying to make sure, because I remember in 2nd Maccabees chapter 14 when it talks about like the men in warlike apparel. Is that what you're referring to?
That's no. Hold on, I got it. 4:52 and 61. That's what I want. First Maccabees 4:52 and 61. First Maccabees 4:52 Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's 4. First Maccabees 4. All right, so First Maccabees chapter 4. All right, fight against those with the fortress. Right, the sanctuary was desolate. So First Maccabees chapter 4. We got the wars that's going on. We fighting the enemies. I was right there. I just went past this. So I was right there. Okay. First Maccabees chapter 4 and verse 37. We still got wars. We got to fight to get these heathen out of our land, out of our temple. Verse 37, it says, upon this, all the host assembled themselves together and went up into Mount Sion, which is Zion, Jerusalem. And when they saw the sanctuary desolate and the altar profane and the gates were burned up and shrubs growing all over the courts as in a forest, or in one of the mountains, the priest chambers were pulled down. They destroyed our temple. They destroyed our temple. They rent their clothes, means to tear our beautiful garments up that we wear, and made great lamentation. It was a terrible desecrating thing, and cast ashes and dust upon their heads, because unlike the Hamites, which we are not Africans, blacks and Latinos, Native Americans, we are not a dirty, dusty people. You understand? We like to be fresh and well oiled and clean and shiny. So us throwing dirt and ashes on ourselves is a very sad, mournful state. You understand? Verse 40, and fell down flat on the ground upon their faces and blew an alarm with the trumpets and cried toward heaven. Then Judas appointed certain men to fight against those that were in the fortress, even were living in our temple that was fortified, until he had cleansed the sanctuary. Them men had to be put down, get them the hell out of there, so he could choose priests blameless of conversation, such as had pleasure in the law. We got to rebuild our temple back up. We had to put them out of the temple, who cleansed the sanctuary and bear out the defiled stones into an unclean place. And they consulted what to do with it. They put up the burnt offerings, and they thought it best to pull it down, lest it should be a reproach, because the heathen had defiled it. They tore down everything that the heathen did, and then they laid stones on top of the mountain and covered it. Then they took whole stones in 47 according to the law and built a new altar according to the former. They built a new temple and made the sanctuary and the things that were within the temple, and hallowed the courts. They made the courts holy again unto the Most High. They made new holy vessels, and into the temple they brought the candlestick, or the menorah, and the altar of burnt offerings of incense, and the table. And upon the altar they burned incense, and the lamps that were upon the candlestick they lighted, that they might give light in the temple. Furthermore, they set the loaves upon the table, and spread out the veils, and finished all the works which they had begun. Now on the 25th day of the 9th month, which is called Caslu, in the 148th year, they rose up betimes in the morning, just like they normally do, and offered sacrifice according to the law upon the new altar of burnt offerings which they had made. Look at what time and what day the heathen had profaned it, even in that it was dedicated with songs and citherns and harps and cymbals. A harp is a guitar. Then all the people fell upon their faces, worshiping and praising the power of heaven, who have given them good success. And so they kept the dedication, or Hakanakah, which is the dedication. That's what it means in Hebrew. In English, is the dedication of the altar 8 days, and the offering burnt, and they offered burnt offerings with gladness, and sacrificed the sacrifice of deliverance and praise. They decked also the forefront of the temple with crowns of gold, with shields, and the gates and the chambers they renewed, and hanged doors upon them. Thus there were very great gladness. There was very great gladness amongst the people, for the reproach of the heathen was put away. Moreover, Judas and his brethren with the whole congregation of Israel ordained that the days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in their season from year to year by the space of 8 days, from the 25th day of the month Caslu, with mirth and gladness. So that is the story. That is Hanukkah. You understand that Mattathias and Yehoiada HaMaccabah, the wars of the Maccabees did not end that day. They continued. You understand? There's many chapters in First and Second Maccabees, at the end of which, after all of this fighting, we rededicated the temple. That's why we keep the feast, the memorial of Hanukkah every year. That's what we celebrate, and that's what we are in now, by the space of 8 days, the 8th day being that ending. All right. And that is our history and our war against the racist Greek white man who destroyed our temple, terrorized our people, hung and lynched brothers and our babies, forced us to take their customs. Of course, at the end of all of this great, noble, valiant work, wicked, bastard religious leaders went and sleeked and out-sharpened their way to make a covenant with the damn Romans anyway. Jason and the Sadducees, I believe, the Sadducees, Pharisees, by the time Christ is born, them wicked bastards are in power. All of this is, you understand, they sitting over the top of the whole thing. So then it's Christ's turn to continue the mission to repair the nation. It was this brother's turn. It was Mattathias' turn, just like it was the priest or prophet's turn before. And now it continues. And we doing the same thing, rebuilding the nation up just like we had to do many times over. And now Commander General Johannes, who the one man the Lord set up, and now we following that one man just like the law says. There's no new thing under the sun. So with that, we'll go ahead and end it there, clap it up. Most High in Christ, honorable, righteous thing that that brother have done, building up and re-putting this nation back together. We're going to get the Isupk security announcements. You got it. With that, pass the class over the priest and officer Yerushalayim. Hold on 1 second. Officer Natazav, California. It says, Salakia, why is the Monterey 7 sticks? And why is the Jewish man 9 sticks? The Jewish man is an imposter. He has 9 sticks, which is not biblical. Why we have the 7. We have 7 because the 7 is the number of completion. That's when the Lord rested on the 7th day, which is the Sabbath day. And we kept the feast, was commanded to keep it 7 days. That's why. All right. As for why the Jewish man has 9, I can't say for sure. It's escaping me why exactly he has 9 is wrong. The 9 is wrong. All right. That's why we have 7. We rededicated the temple. We made sacrifices for those days. It was a celebration for those days. Most of the celebrations or the high holy days that the Lord told us to celebrate, the celebration is to last a week in most cases, a full 7 days, not Christmas Day, Thanksgiving, some old one-day nonsense. The Lord said for there to be a celebration, the celebration is a week, the whole week, everybody off. You get no business out of any Israel for a whole week by the commandment of the Most High. I ain't about no sweat, brother. All right, you got it. Jamal.
Kalabakab. Isupk security announcements. We are the Isupk, started at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. So like they are off limits for 1 year. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves to the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21. Malachi chapter 3 verses 8 through 10. Ma'ashara means 10th in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to church department or a teacher. Go to isupk.com, click on donations, and follow the instructions from there. Keep your receipts. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. Right now we're in the Feast of Hanukkah, also known as the Feast of Dedication if you read the New Testament. All right. But after this feast, all right, once it's closed, even though there is not a closing, all right, that would be the Feast of Purim. And we'll let you know exactly when that is. All right. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school to start wearing all black, all right, that's black boots, shirts, pants, headband, or war scarf. Even though sisters cannot be troopers, you can still become a sister in the school, come to class with a dress, head covered, ready to learn. With that being said, we're going to give a current salute to the highest ranking man in the room. That will be the teacher. Men of Israel, Imajum Shabbat, Imajum Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh.
Y'all by Shimei Shad Rakathum.
Yanamata. Sarla Adwafian, which means turn to the sisters. Imagine to the sisters, which means to stand. Men of Israel. We're going to give a curse salute to the sisters. Men of Israel. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak. Yahweh Shamar. With that, class dismissed.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All black Hispanics and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.